Hi there, I'm Krista Lothian, the Director of Support Services here in Holy Spirit Catholic School Division. I'm excited to spend a little bit of time here with you to tell you about our Mental Health in Schools pilot project. During the summer of 2022, the Government of Alberta announced grant funding that would become available to school districts through an application project to support school pilot projects. The proposed project that would be submitted would need to focus on supporting, promoting, and enhancing positive mental health in children and youth. The call for proposals encouraged school divisions to find new and innovative approaches to providing support and services that would build on what already exists within their local contexts. Holy Spirit Catholic School Division was successful in an $886,100 grant application. And through the collaborative work and support of mental health support and service providers, such as Alberta Health Services School and Health and Wellness Promotion Team, Alberta Health Services Addictions and Mental Health, Alberta Health Services Indigenous Wellness Corps, the Aboriginal Addictions and Mental Health, Alberta Health Services Mental Health Literacy Program, Southwest Collaborative Support Services, and True Balance Counseling, a well-rounded and comprehensive project has begun to move forward. Based on an analysis of both student and divisional data, we were asked to identify areas of strength, areas of need, and gaps that exist. The purpose and goal of our divisional project is to bridge connection and sustainability through assessing, planning, and collaborating to support students in navigating and developing pathways to, through, and from universal, targeted, and individualized supports through multifaceted approaches. Instrumental to this grant proposal and the individuals responsible for bringing it to light include myself, the Director of Support Services, Anita Lethbridge-Gross, the Coordinator of Counseling and Wellness, Billy Whitey, our newly hired Indigenous Student Wellness Access Guide, as well as Emily Williston, our newly hired Student Wellness Access Guide. To ensure that we indeed were unique with our proposal, we leaned into our community partners in developing 3 essential components that extend the work that is currently being done within our division and our local surrounding communities. The following elements of our proposal were instrumental in the grant approval process. We have hired 2 student wellness access guides, Billy and Emily, who will approach support as a collaborative effort between school and community. The second component of our grant that was unique was the creation of an interjurisdictional hub, removing access barriers to resources by providing an updated mental health resource hub that can be shared with all school divisions in the region and would, of course, be accessible to our zone partners. The Mental Health Resource Hub will include and also reflect cultural sensitivities when looking at tiers of support, while providing a vehicle to identify therapeutic service providers that students and families can see themselves connecting with. Finally, the third unique component of the grant includes the incorporation and development of a cultural component to our existing universal programming that truly reflects the many diverse ways that one can engage in mental health and wellness through the arts. If the project is successful, we're hoping that it will be, the outcomes for Holy Spirit School Division would include identified pathways to, through, and from Tier 2 and Tier 3 mental health supports and services for students and families. a developed annual mental health awareness campaign, and a communication plan that's developed in collaboration with our divisional mental health capacity building team for both students and families, and a developed multicultural component within our divisional universal programming that provides a greater scope of possibility for supporting mental health and promotion and prevention. When digging into what the resource hub would bring, the hope is that it would capture tier 2 and tier 3 pathways. And you've heard me say this before, to, through, and from support in our region. This resource would be annually updated and reflect changes in community supports and services, as well as accessibility by our Catholic and public school partners in the South Zone. The hub will include a physical environment component where a designated physical space will be accessible for the delivery of virtual therapeutic services. This type of access ensures our school communities have equitable access to services despite potential cultural, language, technological, financial, or geographic barriers that may exist. When imagining what the mental health campaign might look like, the hope is that the campaign utilizes and builds upon the learning components of the mental health literacy program for students and staff, as well as parents and families. The campaign would highlight a broad range of community supports for mental health with considerations for school community, language, and literacy levels, provide consistent mental health language and messaging with regard to curriculum and programming, as well as demonstrate the benefit of art therapy. So music engagement, the visual arts, and movement-based creative expression as effective tools for mental health promotion, prevention, and treatment. Which brings us to the healing arts curriculum. The goal here is to develop a multicultural component within our divisional universal programming that really provides a greater scope of possibility in supporting mental health promotion and prevention. This multicultural component would include unique approaches customized to the needs of respective student cultures. This may include cultural ways of knowing, being, and doing, as expressed through dance, through play, music, art, and movement, with an emphasis on Indigenous traditions of healing, given our proximity to traditional territories of the Blackfoot Nations and the people of Treaty 7 regions in southern Alberta. We have an ambitious timeline for the project that endeavors to bring to light the 3 identified areas of need in our division. With the hiring of Billy and Emily, we are well on our way to having many of the proposal components ready to go for the 23-24 school year. As we are looking at our timeline, we're always coming back to sustainability and how do we continue to have what we build extend beyond the grant timeline. And that becomes an important consideration when we are planning for what lies ahead. So over the next 2 years, we will work together to support mental health in Alberta schools, specifically within Holy Spirit Catholic schools, which really means focusing on developing that shared language, moving towards strength-based approach to build resiliency, enhancing social emotional learning, understanding those pathways to, through, and from service, and identifying key roles for all partners. Identifying and understanding that there are multiple approaches to supporting one's mental health. Thank you for taking the time to click and learn about this exciting project that is underway. I can't wait to do a follow-up series and share all the amazing stories and resources that have been developed.